Let's go. Okay, so first off, just a little bit of an introduction of what the standing meditation is all about. Um, in essence, all of the energy practices, whether you're talking about yoga, prana practice, or the Tai Chi practice, the Qigong practice, the Chinese arts, all that energy practice is working with the energy of the universe. So we all know that matter is energy is matter, everything is energy. And these ancient arts teach us how to tap and channel that energy to become more close to it. Because I think as human beings, our tendency is to separate ourselves off with the mind taking away from the body, and we kind of end up living in separate zones. So the energy practice of the standing meditation is really, it seems to me, the simplest and most straightforward way to kind of connect with this energy and how to find it and feel it and to begin to feel it. Because don't worry if you don't really feel anything today. I mean, that's why I've planned a 4-week session. It is something that may well develop for you over time, and it probably will. And it gets stronger as well. So don't worry if really what happens today doesn't feel like very much, because you have a chance to keep on practicing and to develop it. But as I was saying, I think the standing meditation is one of the kind of clearest ways to understand that you feel it, because you're not using anything else. You're just kind of standing and feeling it. The standing meditation is also, because it helps you to channel the energy, it's a fantastic way to enter into a lot of the healing that goes hand in hand, I mean, in terms of traditional Chinese medicine. But that's enough of that. I mean, that's really why we're doing it. So a few more basics about the standing meditation. There is a very specific posture that you will have to adopt that we will go into. Again, if this is something that starts to feel a little uncomfortable, stick with it. Part of that is your body telling you where you might need to do some work. So this is stuff that we might be able to talk about at the end of the session or in future sessions or privately as you wish. But as I say, stick with it. If your back is a little sore, if your shoulders start to get tense or whatever, try to breathe into the space and relax it more and more. So without too much further ado, let's just get into it. So as I said, there is a specific stance. So if we all could begin with our feet together, and hopefully you can see my feet, we were quite careful to make sure that you could. So if you start standing with your feet together, pointing forward, and then you're just going to move your toes out into a Pilates V or a ballet first position, or just a nice V there. So that's your first step. Second step, take your heels again in line with your toes. So now your feet are slightly apart. Now turn your toes out again once more, so that you've got another V pointing outwards, and then adjust your heels so that you're standing straight. So your feet are straight, your toes are pointing forward. And this should bring you around about just outside shoulder width apart, which is a really fantastic supportive stance. If you want to go a little wider, do so. If you want to come in a little bit narrower, also do so. But as you'll see with the next bit of our stance, you need a bit of space to accommodate your spine. So around about where we are should be what's comfortable for you. So kind of try and stick with that. Okay, so the next step, slight soft bend in the knees. Don't have your knees straight. We don't want any stiff knees here. So slight bend in the knees. Now you're going to think about your coccyx, your tailbone. So perhaps stick your right hand on the back of your butt at the bottom of your spine, and take your spine, take your pelvis, tilt your pelvis. It's actually an anterior tilt, but so tilt your pelvis slightly so that your butt is a little bit forward, and just feel that difference. Because normally when we stand up straight, just stand up straight again, your spine tends to kick out a little, your coccyx sticks out a tiny bit. We want it just that little bit tucked under. Not enough to be uncomfortable, but just enough to be pointing straight down. Basically, this is the the point that in Chinese medicine they call it the maloi. You want your maloi pointing down at the ground. The next step is to take your left hand and put it on the top of your head, because now what I want you to do is tuck your chin ever so slightly so that the absolute top of your head, you know, your skull domes upwards a little bit. The very top of your head, in fact, the top of your spine should now be in a straight line with your butt. So you've kind of tucked your butt a bit and you've tucked your chin a bit so that you should feel like your spine, which is normally a little bit wavy, is in a straight line. At least that's what we're going for. So just go for the closest that you can feel with that today. So we're standing relaxed knees. We've got our coccyx tucked. We've got our head reaching up towards the sky. Spine is as straight as we like it to be. Hands are just hanging down by the sides, just very loosely from your shoulders. And once you feel you've got that position, you can readjust. It might take readjustment. You might have to keep thinking about it, readjusting yourself. Pull your spine down, extend your head up. Pull your spine down, extend your head up. Just get a bit used to that position. And as I say, hands loosely hanging by your sides. Now in this position, hopefully also now, if you really think about your feet are feeling very, very stable on the ground. So in Chinese medicine, you have 6 points around your feet. We're not going to go into too much detail about that, but really you should be able to feel the whole outer side of your foot on the ground. And you should be able to feel, as we go through the meditation more and more, I would hope, that the points which are underneath the arches of your feet, which are the ones that we really want to bring into connection with the ground, which is where you start to pull the energy through, if you can start to actually become conscious of them as they connect to the ground. Now, to really connect us down to the ground, I'm actually going to do an exercise. A couple of you might have done this with me before. It's not the way we normally get into the standing meditation, but it was taught to be by Master Yap in KL, and it's a super effective way to get you to feel the relaxation that we need to go through in a very obvious fashion. Yeah. So beginning with your feet, I'd like you to start to clench your toes, clench your ankles, clench the muscles in your calves, clench your knees, clench your thighs, clench your butt, clench your stomach, clench your chest, clench your hands. They're by your sides now. Clench your hands, clench your elbows, clench the muscles of your upper arms. Hold it all clenched, right? We're clenching, clenching, clenching as we rise up the body. Clench your shoulders. Make yourself really tight across the chest. Clench your neck. Clench your jaw. Clench your teeth. Clench your cheeks. Clench your eyes. Clench your ears if you can. Hold your whole body just as tight as you absolutely can from top to bottom. And try and breathe. Okay, now what we're going to do is, starting from the top, like a little MRI that's going to be going down your body. Imagine that disc of light, whatever color you'd like to have it, or however you want to visualize it. We're going to start letting go from the top of the head down. So very slowly, very consciously, let go of your forehead and your scalp. Let go of your eyes. Let go of your cheeks. Relax your chin and your mouth. Let go of your ears. Now your whole head is relaxed, but your neck is still clenched. Let go of your neck. Let go of your shoulders. Let go of your upper arm. Relax your elbows. Relax your forearms. Relax your chest. Relax your belly. Relax your hands. Relax your hips. Unclench your butt. Relax your thighs, upper thighs. Relax your lower thighs. Relax those quads. Relax the knees. Relax the calves. Relax your ankles. Relax your feet. Relax your toes. Now, you should be standing very calm and very relaxed and very firmly on your feet. You should feel that your feet are very heavy and you should feel very connected to the ground. Take a couple of breaths here. And just to make sure, we're going to run through that again without the clenching. So we're going to start again. Take a couple breaths. In and out. Nice deep breaths. And another one. In and out. And we're going to start again. We're going to start at the top of the head. You're going to relax your head. Relax your scalp. Relax your eyes. Relax your ears. Relax your cheeks. Relax your jaw. Your tongue can just relax in your mouth. You can keep your lips slightly parted, whatever feels best for you. Relax your neck. Relax the back of your neck. Relax your shoulders. Relax your upper arms. Relax your chest. Relax your elbows. Relax your forearms. Relax your fingers. Relax your belly. Relax your pelvis. Relax your glutes. Relax your thighs. Relax your knees. Relax your calves. Relax your feet. Relax your toes. Relax your ankles. Now, you're standing perfectly relaxed. Your muscles and your skin are on the frame of your skeleton, and your skeleton is perfectly what's holding you up. Check your malloys down, coccyx towards the ground. Adjust your head towards the top. And let's take 3 breaths, just in and out. Relax, relax, relax. In and out. And in and out. Now, I want you to think about the most joyful experience that you've had in your life. I'm not going to give any indications or markers because everyone's had different experiences, but I want you to think about the most joyful thing, the most joyful experience that you've had in your life. Now, when you've got that, I want you to think about how it felt. Who was with you? What it sounded like. What were the surroundings? What were the noises? What were the smells? Really immerse yourself in that joyful, joyful moment. Really focus on how you felt. How happy, how peaceful, how engaged. Now, just think how grateful you are for having had that experience. Dwell on that gratitude. Say thank you for having that experience. And say thank you in your mind for everyone who was there, who was part of it. And everyone who made it possible. Take a moment to thank them all. And now take a moment to thank yourself for being able to be there. And just stick with that for a few breaths. Slowly start to move the tongue in your mouth. Start to wiggle your fingers. If you closed your eyes, you can open your eyes. Maybe rock a little back and forth. Coming back into your body. And just seeing how you feel. The standing meditation doesn't typically include a visualization, but it's a great way to keep the monkey mind at bay. So I use it all the time personally after I was introduced to it. And I offer it to you as something that you can use. It has obvious benefits in terms of creating the extra endorphins in your brain, but we don't need to go into that right now. So in a nutshell, that's it. I mean, obviously you can stand for much longer. There is more energy work that we will go through in the next weeks. But the nub of the standing meditation is this. Before we finish, there are two things that I want to do. To kind of introduce you to the concept, if you are not familiar with it, of pulling the energy up and letting it go. That is something that we will be exploring much more in the coming weeks. And also, I want to teach you the technique to close everything down after you've done the meditation, because it's really very important. You've just opened absolutely everything up. And it's very important that, you know, when you go into the world, not knowing what kind of energy and what you're going to come across, to be able to protect yourself and close yourself down. So first we're going to do the energy flow. And so I'll just explain to you kind of the basics of what we're going to do. I'm going to get you to hold your hands with the little finger, hopefully you can see, little finger and ring finger together, and then the next two fingers together, like that. And what we're going to do, I'll give you a demonstration and then we'll do it together. So what we're going to do is you're going to have you start with your hands down in front of you like this. And we're going to breathe in, and when we breathe in, you're going to visualize that with these the rear two fingers, the little finger and the ring finger, you're pulling the energy up from the back of your legs, from your heels, from your feet, up through that opening in your arch, up through the back of your body and up to your shoulders as we pull our hands up. Then at the top, and that's on an inhale, then at the top we hold, we flip our hands, and I want you to visualize then that the energy becomes transferred to these front two fingers and it drops all the way back down. And we'll do that maybe 5 times while you get the hang of it. Okay, so let's go. So just remember, so we're just inhaling. On an inhale, we're going to bring up the energy on our back. We're using our fingers to do that. So we're breathing in. Take that energy to the top of your shoulders. Turn it over, hold everything there. Now using these two front fingers, you're going to pull it, allow it to cascade all the way down over your shoulders, down your chest and down your feet. And as I say, don't worry if you can't really feel anything now, because it'll come. It needs practice. You need to be able to feel it. So let's go again. So up the back. Hold. And down the front. Up the back. Hold. And down the front. Up the back. Inhale. Hold. And down the front. And once more, up the back. Hold. And let it go. Let everything sink back down to your feet. Let it all go back into the air. Now to close off, the movement is a little complicated. So once again, I'm going to explain it and then we'll go through it and we'll do it a couple of times just to be sure, because it is a little complicated. So we're going to start, there's two aspects to this. We're going to start with our hands down and really shaped like a J. And what you're actually doing is you're pushing down with the heel of the hand. So on both sides, you're pushing down with the heel of the hand and your fingers are as straight as you can make them. So you're down like that. We're going to go down, we're pushing on the back of our hands. As I say, just let me go through it once for you, and then you guys can follow me. So we're going to go down with the back of the hand, and we're leaning on our heels. And then we rock to our toes, and we're going to shoot the energy out the front. Then we move our hands to the side, still pressing down with the heel, fingers are out. As you turn, you're on the inner arches. And as you shoot, you go to the outside. And then when we go to the back, when you go forward, you're leaning on your toes, and you shoot out and you rock onto your heels. And then we will scoop. And the reason that we're doing this is, as I said to you before, we've got these 6 major points on the bottoms of our feet. We're utilizing all of those in that pressure and in the shooting, and we're using the energy to close that down and to close down the big chakra that we've just opened in the perineum as well. Okay, so I'll just go through that once more and then we'll try and do it together. So your hands are like in a J, feet, fingers out the front. We're leaning on, we go down, we're leaning on the back point of our heel. And as we come forward and shoot the energy, you go on your toes. As you turn around, to your hands at the sides, you're on your inner arches, and shoot. You roll to the outer edge of your feet. And then when you go to the back, you're on your toes, and you shoot. Shift your weight to your heels, and then we scoop. Okay, so if you guys are ready to do it with me, we'll now do it together, and we'll do it twice, as I said, just to make sure. So your hands go into that J shape, and we're leaning on our heels, and we're going to shoot and push down with our toes. Then, as we move our hands to the outside, we're leaning on the inner arches of our feet, and we're going to shoot to the outside and roll our foot to the outer. Then as we move our hands back, make sure you can see me, back, we're on our toes and shoot on our heels. Let's do that one last time with me at the side there so you can really see, and then we'll really close it down. So we're in a J, pressing down on the heels of the hand, and we're leaning on our heels. Shoot to the front, move to your toes. As you move your hands around to the side, we're on the inner arches, and we're shooting to the outside. Now that we move to the back, we're leaning on our toes, and we're going to shoot to the back. Then we're going to scoop up the energy. And I want you to stop and imagine now that you're holding 2 small balls of glowing energy in each hand. Spend a minute visualizing that. And then you're going to give yourself that energy. You're going to put it into your body. And you can let it come down. So that's us for today. Bang on half an hour.